petition, possibly. And this is what I'm wondering whether it might be better to have it.
Again, it's going forward. To my knowledge, it can't be taken back. That's what I've learned so far.
After that brief discussion, I agree with Lee. We can get some questions answered, and that may be one of the questions to be answered is what happens if we do decide to remove the fluoride from the water right now and make it a vote in 2017. So I would support, or I would second keeping the fluoride discussion as item 2.
I too.
So that's
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
Mayor.
Further discussion before we take a vote.
Yeah, I would like to make the comment that if the intention is to heal this community, having a surprise vote on something that's so divisive to be leading us down this path to a second-class city, I think that's not going to help heal the community to surprise somebody, on Thursday morning with a vote that the council took. I think it needs to have more time.
I would like to add one thing. It's of my opinion that the petition was filed not just for fluoride, but because the people feel as if the council is not listening to them, that it's not just fluoride.
Yes, Mr.
As we've all been discussing, there's certainly been a very consistent and very loyal group of people following Dr. Kalin and her group. And we have been charged with not listening to you. I just have to reiterate the fact that there's countless people that are also in this community that haven't come down here and voiced their opinion that I'm also listening to. So personally, I think it's an affront to be challenged and saying we're not listening to people. And yes, in fact, we are listening to
You can't collectively listen.
They just don't have to be sitting here with your particular opinion. There are people with a different opinion. So I just want that to be said. Second of all, to have a discussion of canceling fluoride, like I said, it only takes one more vote. It could be over with in moments. But I don't believe it's fair to people that aren't here to have something like that important come up without having that on the agenda ahead of time for the normal process of discussing. So I would be in favor of talking about the motion that is listed as I1 as planned, and I would also be in favor of listening to the mayor's proposal at a future meeting.
It was under my impression, Mr. Mayor, that you were not offering the obliteration of fluoride. You were simply putting a halt to fluoride, or your proposal was to put a halt to fluoride until a vote's put on it.
Yes.
So I'm not saying that a year and a half of no fluoride when we have meth being sold to our youngsters and teeth falling out of their heads in a year and a half, and a year and a half of fluoride is not going to, a year and a half without fluoride is not going to be the end all. And to remind council that this, Mr. Downey's proposal is just to halt fluoride temporarily until a decision is made by the people. And that decision could go either way. That decision was made once, flawed as it was, or some say, but it was made once and it was turned down.
Point of order, sorry, brother. We're getting a little too far into this conversation. That if this is going to go forward, this will all come out. I would like that, Mr. Mayor, that we call for a vote by a show of hands for I2 adding fluoride.
Second that.
Point of order is
Hold on.
not appropriate.
All right, go ahead, please, go ahead.
Discussion. I said, his question of a point of order is not appropriate. If he wants to call for the question, that's appropriate, but not a point of order.
Well, okay, before we go a step further, let me answer Mike's question a bit. What I'm trying to find for this community, and which has been very difficult for a lot of people to try to do, especially in Washington DC. I like to use the same first letter for words sometimes. Two that come to my mind and have been coming to my mind for a very long time are common ground and common sense too, actually. You know, the word compromise has been sort of lost in our vocabulary. And I like us as a community to set the right example. That would be a cool thing. So there is a motion. Could we restate the motion that was before us?
I believe the motion was made by Councilmember Whedon, to add the discussion on fluoride as item I2 on the agenda, which was seconded by Councilmember Meredith.
Correct.
Okay. Does everybody understand the motion? So we are going to say it again, so everybody can understand.
Motion on the floor in front of the body is add the topic of fluoride under I, other considerations, to I2. It will immediately come up after we have talked about the current petition or initiative that's been turned over to the county auditor.
Okay. Yes.
It's not the subject, I'm willing to discuss the subject, it's that it's not on the agenda. It has not been fully announced to council members or the public. I would prefer we put it on a future agenda for transparency and for all this. It's not the topic. Appreciate the topic. I just think if we're starting a precedent of at the last minute putting something on the agenda, we have not advertised to the public nor even informed all the council members of. So that's a new precedent. I just don't think that's the way we need to operate for it to be appropriate and transparent and informed. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I would not be supporting that motion for that same reason, that I want the public to be made aware of what we're going to be discussing before we start discussing and perhaps enter into a knee-jerk reaction on something.
There seemed to be, as we discussed this matter, there seemed to be a consensus in that regard. And I have some, I agree to that degree. I don't do things normally. I don't think these things out for days and days. And I want to make sure I read the tenor of the council here tonight. So there's a motion.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I would, following your comment, I would suggest that if we vote no on the motion, that does not mean that any of us are unwilling to have this item discussed as an agenda item at the next meeting. And so I don't think a no vote is saying we aren't willing to discuss it. I think that